Hey, so I was thinking, like, what was I make a video on? A thing that popped up is like not knowing and how it's a good thing. And I probably talked about something like this, but I was like, you know what, I'll just do it again because why not? And because I got a little bit of time, so I'm gonna talk. But there's been this consistent string in my life, at least lately. Earlier, there definitely was, but now, like the last few years, it's been of not knowing stuff. And the more I feel like you not know, the more is up to chance, and more is up to the universe, more that up to whatever. And if we're being honest here, theoretically there would be as much up to chance anytime as there is then. It's just kind of just what it feels like or like what is going on in your life. But it's just lately it's felt like a thing where I can't like it's almost like when you do like an alley oop, when you like lay the ball up, when you kind of throw the ball up and you just don't know, hey, are they gonna dunk it? Is it gonna whatever? Is it defender gonna get like you just kind of like I kind of just throw it up, hoping that something whatever. And I used to do that in bits and pieces like rely or like believe or trust in something that there was a meaning to all of this, like looking at the stars and thinking like, okay, there has to be a reason I'm here and I'm feeling this way and stuff like that. But now, almost when I do it, it almost feels like that I already know that it's gonna be slam dunk, or I already know like when I do it that hey, whether it goes well or goes whatever, it's gonna be good, and it boils down to not needing to know or like not caring that I don't know, or almost that I'm happy that I don't know, like happy that I'm in this spot where I don't really know what's happening in my life, and happy that I'm in a spot where I can't predict what's next in any aspect, and happy that that it's a tough part of my life, and happy that the last few years or last year and a half particularly have been the toughest stretch of my life that I've had because it's allowed me to see with a different perspective or do things I never would have. And I feel like a lot of doing something that's scary, doing something whatever, boils down to trusting in that thing you don't know. Because what you do is you put yourself in situations to where you're open to it. You you like it's like I don't know how to use it without the alley oop or whatever, but you allow yourself to be open to whatever the universe, whatever it's trying to show you. And that's what I'm saying with not knowing is almost been like a thing that I kind of learned to like love because the more I don't know, the more I'm able to learn, the more I'm able to grow, and the more complete in a sense I'm able to be in learning about myself in ways that I didn't do before. Because you can't learn about yourself in ways you've never done before if you're doing the same stuff you always have, or if you know what's happening. It takes not knowing what's happening, not knowing what you're doing, being in spots where you're at like almost the will or whatever the hell you want to say it of whatever is happening in this life. It's it's interesting how the more it feels like the more I've done that, the more I've been conscientious about being open about that, the easier it's been to find peace or find like almost find like purpose in life. And it's much easier said than done. It's been a hell of a journey, but it also has kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I was kind of short sighted in what I was looking at life or whatever, thinking that oh this person's doing that or like family's doing this or this and that, so I have to do this or I have to be this or I have to do those, or because certain people feel this way, I gotta feel this way, or for certain whatever, instead of thinking or acting like really my own. I mean, I was growing up, getting bullied and all that stuff. You have to be doing something different to get bullied. You don't get bullied if you mesh in the crowd. If you fit in so well, you're not getting bullied. It's fitting out or sticking out. So I obviously was doing that, but I wasn't doing that to the extent that I am now in certain aspects. And it's helped me kind of be like, and try to echo the same sentiment of you got to be open to whatever is out there. And you can't be closed off because you're scared or closed off because you don't know what's going to happen or anxiety, worry, all this stuff holds you back. You got to be open because the more open you are, the more you're able to grow and the more you're able to do with your life. And sure, that comes with a lot of failure. It comes with a lot of messing up, comes with a lot of falling short, it comes with a lot of things that none of us really like. But it also comes with finding a deeper meaning and finding a deeper reason to be alive in the first place. And I feel like that's more valuable than anything you could really find doing comfortable stuff. And sure, that it sounds easy, it all sounds nice, but it really boils down to doing this consistently just being open. And what's funny is it doesn't really take necessarily doing anything, it takes not doing the stuff that you normally do to do this, in terms of being in situations to where you're bored, uncomfortable, scared, nervous. Being in those kind of situations is the fuel for any of this stuff. Is the fuel for finding new aspects of yourself, because you have to you have to you just have to. It doesn't. I mean, it could be as simple as just not doing something, like sitting, like let's say it's a weekend, and instead of like just scrolling through TikTok the entire day, or like watching a movie or whatever, something like that, just sitting there and like writing, or just sitting and chilling, like just being like whatever. And hey, if you're chilling, if you're like, if you feel good, you feel like whatever, hey, like by all means. But I feel like most of us have this thing like where we feel like there's probably something out there for me, or is there something missing or whatever, stuff like that. And trust me, I felt that heavily, and still have aspects of that. But being in these situations has kind of almost shined a light on why I felt this way, in like areas where, oh, you know what? Oh, I like doing this, I like doing that, and I was never doing that. So I can see why I was so like wondering, so whatever. And it's kind of like cathartic. It's kind of like it feels like damn, like it just feels right. It just I don't know how else to say it. And the more and more I live this life, the more and more I fail, the more and more I mess up, the more and more I do whatever the hell I do in these 20 something years, the more I've come to find peace with whatever I am. Like I don't know what I am. Like I didn't expect the stuff with my dad to happen. I didn't expect to be in these situations where I felt out of place. I didn't go into his life creating these things. They kind of just happened. And I felt like I was kind of trying to fight it at a certain point. And growing up, all that stuff, I didn't really know about the dad stuff and all that. But the fitting in stuff, like, been consistent thing. And I feel like I was kind of almost trying to pretend it didn't exist, or trying to avoid it, or trying to act like, hey, oh, this will eventually just like whatever. And the truth is, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It actually does the exact opposite. And so having these things, or having these like convictions or feelings or something like that something's up, is almost like it's a good example. It's a good thing mentally, because it allows you to put yourself in the situation I'm talking about and see why you felt that way in the first place. And it took losing my dad to do it, really, for me. But I wish it's almost like I wish I would have done it earlier. But then I think, because I just think way too much, but I think in the terms of, okay, if I did it earlier and started doing this kind of stuff, then I would have less time to hang out with my dad before he died. So it makes sense why stuff happened. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, having those times to be bored, like, I never thought the ways that I think until I was bored enough to like process or go through what was happening in my life. Like, you have to go through life. Life has to be tough. It has to be tough. You have to go through situations you have to be in these spots that you hate in order to live it to its fullest and have peace within life. It takes doing the stuff you hate to be happy. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people know, but not a lot of people actually like live out, including myself, is life has to be tough. You have to go through the tough stuff if you want to do your best, or be great, or be as happy as you can be. And it's really that. I mean, like, no one really wants to be bored. No one really wants to be doing something they're scared to do. No one really wants to do that stuff. But when you do it, you realize, hey, like, I should be doing this. It's one of those should like things. And it's not something tough. It's something that anyone can do. I mean, you can literally be bored at anything. You could be in this stuff, but just allowing stuff to happen to where you're open to whatever could happen is kind of the key to building a life that you actually like. Just being open, being ready for whatever the universe throws your way. And so, hey, to anyone out there, just be open, be ready, and try do the things that scare you, do the things that are tough, and you'll be surprised. Just saying. Love you. See ya.